Updike has another great quote in one of the interviews I pulled about, let's not be so precious about what we do that we're going to rail against the gatekeepers of the publishing industry. It's a capitalist enterprise. Like, you got to write some good shit to break through and get in there. Tough shit, suck it up and do it. Well, part of me moving on past screenwriting, part of it, not the whole thing, was this is too hard to get past the gatekeepers. So what can I do that gets me in front of an audience where I can really see a better measurement of what I'm making and how it connects with people? And then, of course, finding out that that's happening with developing an audience on YouTube, but still realizing you're not as good with crafting something for the audience as you should be and could be. And you're also at times being too self-indulgent, thinking that they just want to sit there and watch you talk in front of a camera. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting too. You said, how you how you were talking about what to aim for. You said you presented the question better. Or you presented, and just everything always goes back to that. I heard something in the last couple of days where it's the quote, a problem well stated is a problem half solved. Yeah. And then you go back to the Winogrand quote where it's like the role of the artist is to state the question. Right. And so you think of the interplay between artist and audience, and it's like, the artist's role is to do half of the work. The audience's role is to do the other half. So the artist is to present the question, state it well. That's right. You're doing half of the work. And then the other side is the audience to come along. And then, so the work is not, it's meaningless without that other half.
That's right. And that goes back to this,
absolutely,
this kind of duality construct. The artist and the audience are creating alchemy in this middle gradient, in this area.
A work, created to be, you can have a perfect work of art, and it's still only half of the equation, right? To be like an actual work of art. And I think a lot of people, if you're working to try to, the audience is going to do their half. So if you're working to, do half of their job, and then you sacrifice half of your job in order to accomplish that, then you're presenting something, and they can only bring their half to it. So then you have an incomplete. You have, a fourth of the final piece is missing.
That's right.
And I think that's a really interesting way to look at creating anything.
And that's where in making anything too, right? Like when you make something because, quote, I know, versus, and I don't know if this is the perfect and not opposite, but perfect alternative to that, I wonder. Like I try to think of it as that, because if you say I know, then you're just didactic. You're just dictating to it to someone what they should think and feel. But to me, like we said with Winogrand,
then you're advertising. That's what Winogrand would say.
You're selling, or you're gaining power, or you're creating subjects, that kind of thing. That idea of wondering or having a feeling about something and asking a question, what does that, what does this mean, or what is this about, and then exploring it through art, and then sharing it with an audience for them to bring the other side of the spectrum to it. It's, that's where the excitement is. And certainly I've written things that, are, or made things where it's, this is it. Here you go. You're welcome. And that's no good.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer and summer.